Charles Oliveira versus Diego Lopes for the BMF title is allegedly rumored to occur, and I am hyped. I am hyped. Inject this fight into my veins, bro, because this one is going to be crazy. If this is the case and if this is what ends up transpiring, I am extremely excited because the UFC has been on fire this year. We've had banger after banger after banger, and UFC 333 or 334, which is rumored to be the fight card that this bout is on, is going to be crazy. Charles Oliveira versus Diego Lopes for the BMF belt. Diego Lopes might be moving up to lightweight. He's expressed in the past that he believes he's not going to get the belt back if Volkanovski is the champ. He said he wants Volk to retire, and that's his pathway to the championship. I personally think if I was Diego Lopez's manager, I would advise him to stay down, to be honest with you. I would advise him to stay at 145 because Volk's not going to be around that much longer. Get one more win maybe and camp out for a title fight, because the truth is the UFC loves him. But if they're going to give him a BMF title shot against Charles Oliveira, against one of the biggest names in the sport, why not take it? He may as well. He's the undisputed champ right now. He beats Gaethje, and he definitely beats Max Holloway. We've seen how that fight goes. And who knows how a Topuria rematch would go at this moment. But Charles Oliveira has the best argument for being the champion right now, or for even a title shot, because he has such a dominant win over the current champ. But in any case, Charles Oliveira, extremely skillful fighter, one of the best lightweights of all time. Diego Lopes is going to get destroyed if Diego Lopes goes up there. But it's an incredible fight. It's a fascinating fight. We'll see what happens. If this is the case, Diego Lopes is being treated very well by the UFC. The UFC seems to love this guy. They gave him 2 fights against Volkanovski. The first one, you could argue it was deserved, even though Movzar has a win over him. The second fight, by no means was Diego Lopes deserving of a title shot against Volkanovski when he was coming off a win against Gene Silva. Fair enough, it's a good win. Gene Silva's incredibly skilled. He just went out there and beat Arnold Allen. But one win, and you get a rematch against the champ, that did nothing for Volk's legacy. Volk had that fight in February. He's been sitting out since. That did absolutely nothing for Volk's legacy. Diego Lopes still got that fight regardless. The UFC wants this guy as champ. He's marketable. He's got that Mexican audience behind him. He's a big name. A lot of people seem to like this guy. He's been on every major card of the last decade. He's been on 300, the Sphere, now the White House card, coming off a knockout win over Steve Garcia, to open up that entire event. Absolutely insane work from Lopez, and he does seem to rise to the occasion, but obviously Volk's on another level. If he goes out there and he fights Charles Oliveira, that's an incredibly compelling matchup. And a banger matchup, but I just think he loses that one. I really do. I think Charles is just on another level. I don't think he can chin Charles. I don't think he's technical enough on the feet to chin Charles. And I think Charles probably is going to be told by the UFC, listen, you're going to need to make this fight entertaining. This is the BMF title after all. I think they're going to contest it on the feet, but I think Charles will shoot a takedown, and I think he'll be able to get the sub. I think Max Holloway's jiu-jitsu defense is incredibly underrated, and I think Lopez's leaves a lot to be desired. He's very good offensively on the ground, but defensively, there's a lot to be desired. We saw him controlled a lot by Movzar in that fight. Obviously, short notice, that's a whole different question, but still, we've seen moments of weakness on the ground. Even against Volkanovski in Lopez's career, I think Charles is just on another level. Even on the feet, there's a lot to be desired from Diego Lopes, and I could even see Charles getting the knockout over him on the feet. But that is a crazy matchup. That is a massive, massive fight in the lightweight division, rumored to be happening in the next couple of pay-per-views. I was thinking we were going to see Charles versus Arman for the BMF. Obviously, realistically, it's not really a BMF title fight. It's more of a number one contenders fight. But I was really looking forward to seeing that. But if the UFC wants to do Oliveira versus Lopez, then so be it. That's a major fight. That's a major, major bout. And we'll see what happens. The winner fights Gaethje. You could arguably give Charles Oliveira Gaethje right now, and not too many fans would shake their head. But if they want to do one more, I think Gaethje's probably not going to fight for the rest of this year. Oliveira's only fought once this year. Things do work out nicely like that. What do we do with Max Holloway? We're not too sure. Holloway's kind of trying to wait out for McGregor 3, I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think Holloway should fight Paddy, or Holloway should fight Arman if Arman's not fighting Charles Oliveira. And we can do Paddy versus Ilya in the meantime. And then Gaethje can fight Arman or the winner of Charles and Lopez. If that does indeed occur, Paddy's going to need one more before he gets Justin. I don't even think Justin really wants to take that fight, to be honest with you. It doesn't really do anything for his legacy. It's a bit like Volk taking the Lopez fight the second time round. Justin's just been a bit more, a bit more choosy, a bit more picky with the opponents that he likes to face. Than Volk. Volk's one of those guys that fights everyone and anyone. But yeah, big news, big news. Diego Lopez versus Charles Oliveira. Rumored, allegedly, don't shoot the messenger if this does not end up occurring. And we see Diego Lopez versus Arnold Allen or Movsar Evloev or Lerone Murphy or something. But he has expressed interest to move up to that light heavyweight, that lightweight division. We'll see what happens. A big fight. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. I'll see you boys later. Much love, yeah? Much love, yeah? Then I'll tell you this one.